guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and it's a hoodie kind of day today. It is, however, a Kate the Great Good Job Gang hoodie, so you know, I think it's okay. You know, I like to mix it up. I wear Max Mara and I wear Good Job Gang hoodies. I mean, come on, you know, you gotta be diverse in these days. So welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're gonna play around with some new makeup. I have the Chanel Sublimage foundation on my face. Some of you asked about coverage, and I can tell you, I think it's a light to medium coverage. I don't feel like it builds that well, but that could be my skin. And what I mean by that is I have very dry skin. So when I start to build foundations, it doesn't usually work well. Because I get more of that cakiness. You know what I mean? Like it just, I think on oilier skins, that sounded weird. On an oilier skin type, I think you can build better. Anyway, it's not that it doesn't, you can build it. It started to, like for me, I put a little extra here and I think it looks fine, but I don't think you're certainly not gonna get full coverage. When I bring you in close, you can see the coverage on my face. It certainly blurs imperfections, but I would call it a light to medium. I think it gets rid of the redness. I think it tones down things. It firms up my skin. It makes me look glowy, but you can still see the imperfections in my skin. Now, of course, I'm also 48, so I have more imperfections in my skin than say if you were, 25. So it does depend on what you're working with. But yeah, I really like the foundation. In regards to long wear, so the longest I've worn it, I'm making sure I get this right, 6 hours, 7 hours, 7 hours. Yeah, 7 hours. And it looked really good. I actually think it looked great. It didn't wear weird. I didn't get any lines, none of that. But what I would say is this. Because it has skincare in it, and I'm using skincare before it, I find that I like it better when I don't use moisturizer before it, which is interesting because that's not usually the case. I always use my La Mer soft lotion. That's like, I always do that. It's just it's a long, let me backtrack for a second. I've done a nighttime skincare video. I haven't done a daytime one. In the day, I always put on as my last step the La Mer soft lotion pump. I always do. It's just what I do. So if I do that and then I put on this foundation, I actually think it doesn't look as good if I skip that and just put on the foundation. Because it has skincare properties in it, it's not like it looks bad, but I think it like, I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't look as good. And I don't really know why. Maybe it's too much moisture on the skin. I don't know. But suffice it to say, if you're dry, and not exceedingly dry, but if you're dry, I think you want to use this by itself. If you're average, normal, absolutely use it by itself. I really wouldn't recommend putting a moisturizer on underneath. If you're very, very dry, then fine. I think it's okay. But this is a really moisturizing, serum-like foundation, and so I don't think you need it. Now again, everybody's different. Everyone's gonna have their own comfort zone, so try different things. But I really think this, and this is the only one I can say that about so far. Yeah, I really, it gives a moisture to my skin. I really don't feel like I need the La Mer underneath it, which is odd. So hopefully that helps answer some of your questions. All right, so that's the foundation. I didn't go through putting it on again today because I figured you've already seen it, and that was a really long video. So we're gonna talk about some other stuff today. I picked up and Cara from Beauty and the Frizz, I know you hate that. I know you hate it when I say picked up because it sounds like I got it for free, and you're absolutely right. I paid with my hard-earned money the Suku blush palette, which I think is stunning. If you've watched my Suku videos, you know I'm absolutely in love with the Suku brand, and we'll be picking up, it's a habit, the spring collections and stuff when they come out. I'm also gonna use the Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer because I wanna play around with it a little bit more. I used it in my Chanel video, but you know, I feel like there's more to it than I thought there was gonna be, so we're gonna try that. I also picked up the Byredo eyeshadow palettes. I picked up two. I picked up Sciomancer, I'm not sure how to say that. Sorry. And I picked up Corporate Colors, which I just think is just fabulous. And I also picked up, I'm gonna keep saying it, the lipstick in Earth Dust. I love the names. And I have the mascara. I've used the mascara before, but we're gonna do that again today. And so I thought it'd be fun just to play around with the stuff, see what you guys think. I really liked the Byredo lip product when I tried it out for you guys, but I didn't like the color. So the Earth Dust will be really interesting. The packaging on this is fascinating. It kind of looks, and you guys are gonna laugh, but you know those cookies, the Keebler Elf cookies? I can't remember the name of them, but they have like chocolate in the middle and then like a cookie on the bottom and the top. That's what it reminds me of. I also could be hungry. All right, so, and I'm dropping things. All right, so this is Corporate Colors, which I guess, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll swatch that for you guys, and I'll probably use that one today. I don't know, I think it goes better with my hoodie. All right, and then this one, the Sciomancer, it's definitely much more colorful. And I'm gonna definitely do a look with this. The green in here, I love I mean, look at that green. Look at that green and that gray. Come on. So pretty. Okay, and I'll swatch that for you too. I mean, it's not like I won't swatch it for you. I've got a lot more to play with, guys. There's so much. There's so much. And like I said, and I've said it a million times, I really do want to do more of these, like get ready with me and playing with different makeup. So let me know. You mentioned a couple things that you want me to do. I've got Ether Beauty coming up. I'm looking here because that's where my stuff is. I got Ether Beauty coming up. I've got Kevin Aucoin, the Dior palette, the face palettes, the Natasha Denona, blah blah highlighter. Sorry. A couple other things. I also am going to be doing some ranking videos. That's coming up. My brush video is coming up. There's a lot. There's a lot. It's a good thing. I'm just trying to enjoy the moment and, you know, give you all this content. All right, let me bring you a little bit. All right, so let's go in with the bronzer first. And what I said about this bronzer is that I first wasn't gonna pick it up because it looked very golden to me. And it is. It is a golden shade. But actually, and it smells nice, but actually, I think it's okay for me. For those of you who are new, I'm very pale. Maybe you can't tell that by the fact that you're staring at me and I look very pale. But yeah, I'm very pale, and so I have to be careful with bronzers. My favorite bronzer of all time, if you're looking at like the history of the bronzers I've had, is absolutely the Terra by Tom Ford. The ones that has become my like go-to lately has been the Gucci bronzer. And if you look at the Gucci bronzer and the Terra bronzer next to each other, you notice they both have a cool tone, almost red tone, which is why I think I like them so much. So, you know, I tend not to go towards these more gold colors. It's not that I don't like them. I mean, obviously when you bronze, you have a golden shade to it, but I never go that color. I don't go that color because I burn. I mean, I would love it if I went that color. My husband has the most gorgeous like golden brown color when he tans, and he doesn't have to do anything. He just walks outside and all of a sudden he's golden. I'm like, this is so unfair. Yeah, it doesn't happen to me. I turn red. So for me, this is actually like the Terra and the Gucci are very much natural, like they look natural for me. That's how I look. So I think that's why I'm drawn to them. And so the bronzy look it doesn't really jive with somebody who has pale skin. If you have pale skin and you have a cool undertone, you know what I'm talking about. So I think that's why I tend to go away from them. It's not like though it looks bad. I just have to keep a light hand when I do it and make sure that I'm paying attention to the fact that it's blended in, because otherwise it just looks like I have orange streaks on my face, which is not really a very pretty look. All right, so let's go with the Suku palette. I'm gonna swatch this for you. When I look at this palette, I feel like, although these are all blushes, I feel like this could be highlight and blush. Now, maybe that's just me. Those of you who have used it, I think, I mean, looks like, to me, it looks like highlight and blush, but it does say powder blush. I mean, that's 102 is it's the Suku Powder Blush Compact. So, you know, people have different ideas of blush, so I'm not saying that's, you know, a bad thing. That's the top row. This is a really pretty, like, brick shade, and this is a gorgeous, like, rosy. I might use this one today. I really like that. This one is almost like a bronze. That I would use that as an eyeshadow. That's interesting. Let's do another. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing about, like, you know, blush palettes. Usually you get a blush palette and it works on one type of skin tone, and that's unfortunate. But this one I think you could do on, you know, multiple types of skin. Yeah, see, like, to be really, like, these shades, I would use as eyeshadows. That's so interesting. I mean, definitely you could, I think you could do it as like a highlighter, but I think like this one and this one would be pretty eyeshadow shades. And this would be like, you know, a nice eyeshadow. Let me use these two shades, actually. I'm gonna use this as a highlighter and this as blush. And then sometime in the future, I think I'm gonna try to use these on my eyes because I just think that would be really pretty. All right, so my brush video is coming up soon. I have had the hardest time with this stupid brush video. Thanks so much, Kelly, by the way. This is your idea. I'm going with the Wayne Goss Artist Brush. I like so many of my brushes. I feel like, you know, I have like a list of brushes like 10 miles long, and I don't, I'm having a hard time limiting. And you know, it is, a lot of it is, and like anything, right? It's personal. Like these artist brushes, these Wayne Goss brushes, they're very, very soft. These are blue squirrel, gray squirrel. I forget now, but I'll remember for the video. Don't worry, I have notes. But it's incredibly soft. So I use these when I want to get a diffused look. I have brushes that are more dense that I use for highlighter when I want a less diffused look. So like I have like 5 different brushes for like each category. And I was like, Jen, you can't do that. You gotta, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I'm filming in 2 days, so I've been writing notes all week. So I'm gonna have to deal. All right, so let's go with that like orangey shade. I thought about breaking it up, but honestly, I think it all needs to be in one place. I don't want you guys to have to like search different videos for different things, so I'm gonna do it all in one video. That is a really pretty blush, actually. That looks really nice. All right, so then I'm gonna take, and I'm not gonna put any powder on my face. I'm just gonna take, this is the newer one, so I always forget the name, Smooth Buffer, which is the smaller one of the Sonia G buffers. The other one is the face one. I'm just gonna buff that in a little bit. My skin is still a little irritated from the cryo stuff. It's not bad. You can still kind of see this little thing here and like some of it under my eyes, but as I've said, that's real life, and that's how you know I'm not using a filter. Because if I was, I would look better. That's okay. All right, let's see. Let's go in with the classic crease brush. This is Sonia G. So this will likely go up either like right before or the week of Thanksgiving. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. I'm gonna swatch these for you. I know it's not the Thanksgiving that we all necessarily want to have, you know, with us not really being able to travel as much and all those things. I mean, nobody, you know, that's not fun. I get it. But we need to do what's good for everyone, right? So, but you know, it looks like there's good news on the horizon, and hopefully this time next year we'll be like, remember last year? Well, at least that's the hope. Ooh, that's really pretty. I also picked up, sorry, Care. I also picked up a new line that I've never tried before. It's on its way. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get here. Really interested in trying it. I'll leave it as a surprise about what it is, but. All right, so those are the shades. I'm gonna take this deep shade here, which looks like a really, it's like a gray taupey shade. Put that down on the eye. Maybe we'll use this shade too. I really like that, that's really pretty. Maybe this shade, I don't know, we'll play around with it. I think it's like a satin. Not really sure. We'll find out when we put it on the eye. The shape of the palette is a little awkward because it's small and thin, it can be difficult to get your brush in there. I don't really like that. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I understand they're trying to be like unique with their shape, which they absolutely are, but I don't know. I kind of like just the boring square shape. That's a really pretty, it's like a gray taupey shade. It's like a satin though. It has some sparkle to it. Not a lot, just a little. I've liked the Byredo products so far. I've only used the mascara and the lipstick. So, you know, I haven't used anything else. They have a whole bunch of like lip crayon type thing. Well, no, face crayons, I guess they call them, that you can use in like multiple ways. I watched Michelle Wong do a video on them and basically said that, you know, there actually are different formulas in those crayons. So some work better as like on the lips and some work better on the face and everything, which is interesting. I haven't picked any up, so I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say if you guys have picked any of those up. I am really interested, I was really interested in the eyeshadows though. So I was like, I have to get these. And I have to thank Lexi Zhang for pointing out that they were available. Lexi is like one of my favorite content creators. I love watching her channel. She's so in-depth about everything and she's so informative. If I don't know something about a particular product or anything, I know that Lexi will. She knows everything. She just does a great job. I love listening to her, I love watching her. So if you guys aren't watching her, you absolutely should. She's phenomenal. All right, let's go into that like green, it's like a green shade, but it's kind of got like, I don't know. Let's see how it looks on the eye. Yeah, it's green, but it's like, I guess it's got some like gray to it. It's really pretty. You guys know how I feel about green. A little obsessed with green, I know. I'm sure a lot of you are, you know, surprised I didn't pick up the like, you know, Grinch palette or something. Just because it's green. All right, let's go in with this like very, I think it's almost like a sparkling taupe. And this is the flat definer. It's very soft, which is interesting. It's a shade I think you could absolutely use your finger on with, and I think it would give you really nice payoff because it is, you know, like so soft. And I'm kind of patting it in. Yeah, that's really pretty. It almost, on me anyway, is going like rose gold, which is interesting. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know things on me do tend to go cool. Like even shades that, you know, I'll look at in the pan and I'll be like, oh, that's copper. And then I put it on my eye and it's like, oh, it's pink. I know, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it's my undertones, but it's just the way it is. So, you know, a lot of times looks will kind of go a certain way on me, and I'll use very different palettes but end up with like a very similar look on my eyes because of that, because my skin pulls a certain way. Everybody's does, but mine pulls cool. All right, so let's take the FO6 brush and go into that very light creamy shade. Put that, let's put it up in the brow. It's like a gold, very reflective, very shiny shade. This is really interesting because this is the corporate colors, and don't get me wrong, like, yeah, you could definitely, I mean, I would wear this to work, but it's not like your typical, I'm using inner corner too, it's not like your typical corporate, like, you know, browns and grays. I mean, that's, you know, there's some oomph there. It's kind of interesting. All right, Wayne Goss number 5. Let's go into that green shade and do lower lash line. I think that looks really, really nice. Blended beautifully. Shadows are really nice, guys. I almost watched the Skyomancer, whatever the heck that is. I'm getting the name wrong. For you as well. Oh, it looks really pretty. All right, let me curl my lashes and we'll put on the Byredo mascara. Okay, guys, so that is the finished look. I used the Byredo mascara. The Byredo mascara is interesting. I'm not a huge fan, but it is like, it's a very interesting wand. It's very small, it's very tight, it's kind of pokey. And if you're looking for something that gets every lash and lengthens, I think it's a good mascara. I prefer something that's more volumizing. My lashes are relatively long, and frankly, I tend to poke myself in the eye with brushes. I don't know why. So I like a fluffier brush. This one's like a harder, more prickly brush. So it's not really my kind of brush. The formula is good though. It does last. It doesn't seem to really flake, which I do like. But it's not a favorite of mine, I have to say. So, all right, so let's swatch the Skyomancer. That's how I'm gonna call it. And then we'll put on the Earth Dust. I actually think the Skyomancer, you know what? I'm gonna have to do this on the other arm. I think I'm gonna really like this. It's really bright, but you know what? I really like it. I think these shades are really pretty. I'm not saying that it's gonna be like I can use it by itself. I feel like it's almost like a, I'm gonna use this like in addition to like a matte, because the shades are all really bright, and although beautiful, I don't know if I would use, that blue is stunning. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I would use all of these together, and like, I think it would be too much for me. I mean, that's just me though. There's lots of people who feel a lot more comfortable with color. It's not that I don't like color. I just, like, because of my job and things, I just don't feel like comfortable with it. It's not my thing. So I think for me, I would want to put like a matte with it, and then add this to it. That's kind of how I look at it. Wow, this is, okay. This is a pressed glitter. That's, okay. So you're gonna need glitter glue for this one. Yeah, that's definitely a pressed glitter. But I mean, it's like, it's a pretty glitter. Like if you look at it on my finger, look at that. So I think if I put it on the eye, let's try it. Let's see what happens. If I just, you know, try to place it, I think you just get like glittery. right? Yeah. Interesting. But I think if you did that with like a liquid, that would be really pretty. I think you would get like a gorgeous look. So I'm really interested in using this one. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. But like I said, I'm not somebody, like I don't think I would use just those shades as like a look. I'm not saying you can't, I probably just wouldn't. But I could take like this shade or this shade and mix it with that shade and like come up with something. But by itself as just a color story, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's just too bright for me. Maybe not. I feel like these are supplemental. That's what I was looking for before. Yeah, guys. It's hard to believe that I'm a trained attorney, isn't it? At moments like that. Yeah, same for me. This is what happens when you don't sleep. Okay, so I'm gonna try the Earth Dust. Let me swatch it for you. I really, really like the shade. When you see it online, it says that it has a yellow undertone. It doesn't have a yellow undertone. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't care who you are. Yeah, I know my stuff goes cool, but there's no yellow in here. So it's like a perfect neutral. The description I don't think is good. There you go, guys. It's like a great pinky. To me, it's like the perfect pinky brown shade. And I would use the chocolate liner, Sicily chocolate liner, to deepen it up just a little bit because it kind of blends with my skin, but I kind of like that look. Like it's a very neutral look, very neutral lip. I think if you were medium skin tone, it would blend a little bit more. So I'm not sure, like on me, like you can see on my skin, on my hand, it looks much darker, but on my face, because you're putting it over your lips, my lips have like a pinky tone to them already. So it's gonna blend a little bit more. It does depend on how much pigment you have in your lips too. I mean, you know, that's definitely true. But I love the shade and I love the formula. I think the Byredo formula in the lips is awesome. The formula in the eyeshadows so far, I really, really like. I think it blended well. I think it's really pretty. So I have good things to say about that, although they are first impressions. The foundation, really love the foundation, guys. I think this is gonna be like my #1 foundation. I know it's really early to say that, and so I wanna be careful because I don't like to do that, but really, so far, I really like it. The Roll-On bronzer, I think it looks really nice. I don't think it's gonna surpass my Gucci, but I think it looks nice. And the Suqqu blush and the highlighter. You know, it looked really gold on my hand, but I think it looks nice on the skin. The blush is beautiful. I'm gonna try all the blushes. I'm really impressed by the Suqqu formula. They're very elegant, they're very understated and subtle, but I think they blend beautifully and I just think they look really, really nice. So again, I've had really good luck lately. The only thing that I've been trying lately that I haven't loved is the Melt Raw Honey. And it has nothing to do with the shades. The shades are actually beautiful. It's just too shiny, metallic. I don't know what the word is for my face. It just brings out texture on me. But it's really pretty. And if you don't mind kind of like a shimmery, that's what I was looking for. Seriously, shimmery blush. If you like a shimmery blush, I would absolutely pick it up. The shades are really beautiful. But I am not really a shimmery blush kind of person. I like more of I'll do a matte or I'll do like a satin. Those are kind of my parameters there. So yeah, all wins. I'll give you more updates on the foundation as I wear it, and I'll keep using the Suku blush and the Byredo stuff. I'll be mixing it all in. Again, I'm gonna try to do more of these, you know, kind of get ready with me, using old makeup, new makeup, all that good stuff. And if there are brands that you have heard of or you're really interested in that you think would be up my alley, please let me know. I'm happy to try out things that you guys like. So anyway, I think that's it for today, guys. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.